Good morning, everybody. Here we are. We're back for chapter 6 in Grubtown Tales When Bunnies Turn Bad. Chapter 6 is called The Plague. Jilly Cheeter blinked, then read the headline of the Grubtown Daily Herald a second time. Mayor's knitted residents attacked and eaten by bunnies. Blimey, said Mango. Wowee, she said, taking the newspaper from Hobo Brown and quickly reading the news report. No one was hurt, said Brown. Apparently, the mayor and mayoress were at the town hall watching Tundra in a pie-eating competition. Tundra Gomez is Flabby and Prit Gomez's only son. But what about the house, said Mango. Mayor Gomez loves that house. He spent forever knitting it. Forever is an exaggeration, but it did take years. The headline turned out to be an exaggeration too, or, if not exactly an exaggeration, a little misleading. Yes, the rabbits had managed to take big bites out of a number of walls, doors, floors, and ceilings before they were repelled. That was the word the Grubtown Daily Herald used to describe the Gomez's action. But most of the house was fine. Well, as fine as a knitted house can be after a bunny attack. This is crazy, said Mango Claptrap when he'd finished reading the article. Where have all these bunnies come from? And why are they behaving like this, said Jilly Cheeter. I thought rabbits were supposed to be all fluffy and cute. I've heard every kind of rumor, said Hobo Brown, flipping his underpants over to warm on the other side. But I know what I know. Tell us more, said Jilly. Yeah, said Mango Claptrap excitedly. What do you know? Are you familiar with the row of abandoned shops on Himble Street? Of course we are, said Jilly Cheeter. That's where Far-Flung Heaps opened his pasta and crispy lettuce bar in the old Molten Lusty's discount carpet warehouse for less than a day. Hobo Brown shuddered at the memory of the time much of Grubtown was covered in pasta and tomato sauce. Well, I sometimes sleep in the old shoe shop there when the weather turns cold, and keep some of my things there. Things? Asked Jilly. My newspapers, my bottle tops, stuff like that, said Hobo Brown. The other day, I was coming out of the old shoe shop when I heard a cry and went to investigate. What kind of a cry? Asked Mango Claptrap, eagerly leaning forward. A very strange cry, said Hobo. It was such an unfamiliar sound, which is why I wanted to find out what had made it. He stuffed a hand into the pocket of his coat and pulled out a big red hanky with white spots. He gave his nose a trumpet-like blow, then stuffed it away again. I saw something disappearing into what was once Rapid Treacle's Magic Emporium. It used to be Herman's Socks and Ties before that. Rapid Treacle, said Jilly Cheeter. Wasn't he the magician who made himself disappear and hasn't been seen since? That's the one, Hobo nodded. About 3 years ago, he was doing a charity performance for the Grubtown Daily Herald and the Grubtown Weekly Gerald, one of Shuna Luce's charities at the town hall. It was for florists who suffered from hay fever. In fact, they were raising money for hankies. My dad was there when it happened, said Mango Claptrap. He said that Rapid Treacle climbed into his magic cabinet and shut the door. When his assistant opened it, he was gone. And when she closed it and opened it again, he was still gone. After 20 minutes of waiting for him to reappear, the audience gave up and went home. Flabby Gomez had stayed behind to finish the free crisps, which are potato chips, and orange squash, which is orange pop. And Treacle's Magic Emporium has been empty ever since, said Hobo Brown. And that was where the noise was coming from, said Jilly Cheeter. Hobo Brown nodded. Through a gap in one of the boarded-up windows, I saw more white bunnies than I've ever seen in my entire life. They appeared to be arguing over a lettuce, or whatever it was that's growing out of the walls. That many bunnies must need a lot of food. We were at the Sunripe Raisin Man's house last night, said Jilly Cheeter, and his house was full of bunnies. I'll bet it wasn't as full as the old Magic Emporium, said Hobo. Shall we go and take a look, said Mango Claptrap excitedly. It'd be great if we could solve the mystery of where all these bunnies are coming from. Great idea, said Jilly Cheeter. They decided to walk to Himble Street. They weren't in a hurry, and it was a beautiful sunny day. They cut across the town square, passing Grabby Hansen, running out of awful sunbeds, trying to hide the cash register under his policeman's jacket. Okay, so there's Jilly and Mango heading off, and there he is with the cash register under his police uniform. He saw Jilly and Mango but said nothing and kept on running. About 10 minutes later, a police car drove by with Officer Mustard Tripwire at the wheel. Grabby Hansen was in the back. He wound down his window and called Jilly and Mango over. Hi, he said. Hello, Chief, they said. Did you see anyone acting suspiciously outside awful sunbeds a little while back? He asked. About 10 or 15 minutes ago? Just you, Chief, said Mango Claptrap. With a cash register stuffed up the front of your police uniform, Jilly added. And you'd be willing to testify to that in a court of law? Sure we would, said Mango Claptrap with a solemn nod. Excellent, said Grabby Hansen. Good work, kids. Thanks. The chief leant forward and tapped Mustard Tripwire on the shoulder. I'm placing myself under arrest on suspicion of theft from awful sunbeds. Would better take me down to the station for questioning. Mango and Jilly caught the words, Okay, Chief, before the window was wound up again and the police car did a U-turn, narrowly avoiding a no U-turn sign, and sped off back the way it had come. Mango Claptrap and Jilly Cheeter admired the chief's honesty. Most of us in Grubtown do. We've heard tales of some mightily corrupt officers in other places, but not here in Grubtown. Our chief is as quick to arrest himself as he would any other criminal. There are no favorites around here. Please excuse me while I wipe a tear of pride from the corner of my eye. Himble Street was even more dingy than Jilly Cheeter and Mango Claptrap had remembered. There were 1 or 2 shops still open amongst the mess, but the burnt-out wreck of a candle store and a fallen-down builder's merchants means that most people steer well clear of the area when shopping. Even the litter looks grubbier than in other parts of town, and the stray cats more scrawny and down on their luck. The ducks in the flooded basements look that much more streetwise. The sign to Rapid Treacle's Magic Emporium still hung above the boarded-up windows, with its logo of a white-gloved hand pulling a rabbit out of a magician's hat. It was old and faded and splodged with dried tomato sauce. Someone had fly-posted across the boards advertising the week of grunting hedge pigs' gigs, over which someone else had sprayed some graffiti. The graffiti read, Kill All D-U-K-C-S, with the word D-U-K-C-S crossed out with a line and D-U-C-K-S written next to it. Looks like some of those foxes have been here, said Jilly. And there they are. Look at how grubby it is. Oh, I see a couple bunnies peeking out of windows. So can you see them? And not that long ago, said Mango Claptrap. Jilly Cheeter touched the spray paint with the tip of her finger. It was dry. What makes you say that? She asked. Mango Claptrap pointed at the grunting hedge pigs posters, all pasted up in a row. They say all this week at the Limp Auditorium, and the concerts were only last week. And the graffiti has been sprayed over them, so it must have been done more recently, Jilly Cheeter grinned. Exactly, said Mango. Now Jilly tried the door. It was open a crack, but then hesitated. She felt they were being watched. She saw a single pair of rabbit's eyes staring at her from the broken window of another abandoned shop, just a hop away. Turning back to the door, she pushed it wide on creaking hinges. And she and Mango Claptrap entered the Emporium. Neither Mango nor Jilly had been quite sure what to expect. maybe the bunnies would be long gone, leaving nothing more than bunny balls. That's a polite phrase for rabbit poo. And a few white hairs, or maybe they'd still be there. They were still there, all right, but even though Hobo Brown had said that there'd been plenty of them, there were far, far more than they'd expected. It was more crowded than a special Grubtown Town Hall town meeting, which is almost as crowded as an abandoned magic emporium packed with white rabbits. There were rabbits everywhere. Wow, said Jilly Cheeter. Wow, said Mango Claptrap. There was no way that they could get in with all those bunnies in there. Let's try round the back. They slipped down an alleyway covered in more D-U-K-C-S graffiti and came out at the back of the row of abandoned shops. Now all we have to do is work out which is the back of the Magic Emporium, said Mango. Any bright ideas? Asked Jilly Cheeter. Not really, said Mango. How about this one? Said Jilly when they'd walked about halfway down. The window frames are painted the same color as the ones at the front of the store. Genius, Mango grinned. And that is the end of chapter 6. Tune in tomorrow for chapter 7 called Bunny Trouble. I'll see you tomorrow.